Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. Today we are this is the milestone video for the house is dried in. So framing, roofing, except for the metal bits you see there missing, and kind of windows and almost all the doors. So I figure I'd just kind of give you a tour and talk about kind of the dry in and the framing and kind of just what all we did and how it went, and talk about some of the details as I kind of do a walk and a little stream of consciousness. So there's the front of the house, as you can see, a fair bit of windows. I thought the tower portion turned out really well with the roof and the curves. That color is a estate gray on the shingles, in case anyone's curious. Went with those 6x6 cedar posts for the front porch, and we did the same for the back. Let's kind of just walk around the exterior, then we'll go to the interior. So just a cheap wood lap siding. We didn't go too fancy, didn't get a hardy board or masonite product or anything like that. Decided to save some money there. Everywhere that's house wrap, as you can see, will be brick or stone later. So all the siding is done. So when the framers leave, and I guess I should talk about expectations because I had my guesses, but I didn't really know. So the framers are responsible for not only framing the house, wrapping the house, but if you're doing wood siding or anything, they are responsible for putting all that wood siding up and kind of some of that trim work. Overall, I think they did a good job. I think there are a couple areas where it's like, okay, these guys are framers, not trim carpenters, but that's okay. They did a very good job, and I'm thoroughly pleased. You see there's the back porch with our kind of master bump out, and I'm dodging lumber and debris. As you can see, they leave the place a mess. So I'm kind of walking my way. Again, 6x6 cedar posts on the back porch. We're gonna have the bottom portions of those posts kind of clad with kind of brick and stone. We decided to go a little cheaper on the windows. Yep, just because in reality it'll save us a good bit of money. And windows are something you can replace later if you really need to. It's not that big of a deal versus something else. So we decided to go a little cheaper on the windows, but again, a cheap window now compared to something from the 80s, 90s, whatever. Yeah, no comparison. So there's our wall of windows. You can see the back sliding glass door is in. That one we popped for a nice gelled one model. That's an 8-foot wide door by a normal 6'8" height. And we figured, okay, kids are going to be in and out slamming the thing, so we really want to get something with a little bit better build quality. So kind of walking into the house, framing, I'm just going to kind of point out some of the details. For barn doors, this is what our framers did standard. They just basically put a giant header across the doorway. That way you can have good material to affix the barn door to. I figured that they would just put blocking in, and frame it normally, but they'd use this whole header, which, okay, I thought it was a little wasteful. I figured blocking's good enough just for what you need to do, but it'll work. And I think that that particular board is actually old concrete form board that they reused. So there's some good economies there. So I could say that we got that for quote free. More dry-in package. Laundry room door on the right, master door on the left for the exterior doors. So those came in but are not installed yet. Mechanical room door, we shuffled this around a couple times, and they had to end up beefing this header up to be able to carry the load, so I could have the doorway more centered to give me more wall space where I wanted it. Most of the construction, I guess, it's 2x4 walls, with the exception of that wall of windows is a 2x6. They use TGI I-joists for all the kind of ceiling / flooring, joists. I think all this is kind of pretty standard. 16-inch on center, 2x4 walls, with the exception of that back wall there, it's 2x6. One thing that I've started to do, and actually take a detour because I just started doing this, is putting in my own blocking in the bathrooms for towel bars and towel rings, right? So I'm standing here, right? There's the vanity. I'm standing here. I'm washing my hands, right? I need to reach for a towel, right? So it's going to be like right there. But if anyone's, if you've ever installed towel bars, towel rings, and you've used the drywall anchors, you know how much it sucks because they'll pull out, and especially if you have a child who is a little more forceful, pulling on towels on racks and stuff, those things will rip out of the wall. And so everywhere we're going to have a towel rack or a towel ring or whatever, just scrap blocking, nailed in, you've got some good material to screw that thing into, and there's no problem. And same way like over here in the guest bathroom, right, for a towel bar that's going to, span a width. Throw up some blocking. It doesn't have to be pretty. This certainly isn't. And, but it'll work. You put the drywall on top of that and you've got all kinds of meat to screw into. So kind of moving along, the framing details. She was doing an archway there, right? And then kind of moving into the living room with kind of the featured space of the vault, right? Nice vault in the living room, wall of windows. Gonna have a wood-burning fireplace there. So the framers frame all that in too. And they also do the chimney up there at the top, right? And the cutout for that. Another archway here, going into the master. The master ceiling was originally gonna be flat, but then before they had a chance to make it flat, we saw how this turned out with the peaks and how it all looked, and we decided to leave it. So we'll have this kind of soaring vault in our master, and I have no idea what we'll do for lighting exactly, but it'll look pretty cool. Again, another kind of double pocket door, or a double barn door. So again, with that barn door header that they did. And then kind of walking in, framed in the master shower with a kind of a detail wall that will look really cool when it's done. And kind of just walking and talking. We'll go upstairs now. See from upstairs, here's where the open balcony is going to be with some sort of handrail. Obviously not that, but as it turns out, we had some storage under the stairs that we planned for, just with a normal door, right? But this thing is kind of cavernous. So walking in, we've got all this space under here. We'll see how the lighting goes, all right? I'm kind of squatted down. So we got all this space under here that was unplanned. So that's kind of a nice bonus. So there's the front door, right? Front door's not in yet. And then the side light windows. When picking out front door, you can get front doors that have like side lights as a whole package with the door, or you can just buy the windows individually. For our case, buying the windows individually and having just a little bit more space between the windows and the door saved a bunch of money versus buying a door with a side light package. Going out to the front porch here real quick. So again, board and bat ceiling, right, for the porch. All right, let's head upstairs. I'll show you the upstairs. In the stair detail, they did a good job. They used 1.1/8 plywood for the treads. They nailed everything, and then I went back through and used screws everywhere just to further cinch it down. To me, it was cheap insurance. So again, more stairs. Likewise up here, the subfloor is all 3/4 tongue and groove, glued and nailed by them. And then I came back and put screws in everywhere. Through the whole top of the second floor, about 15 pounds of screws. And there'll just be some good insurance because gaps in the floor are what make it squeak. And so having a screw to kind of really pull that material down onto the joist, have a more positive lock than just a nail that could work its way over time. Even though you've got glue, and that'll probably mitigate a lot of it, it was cheap insurance. So here is just kind of open attic storage, right? All this is just going to be unfinished in storage. So just a walk-in attic, going down the hallway. And just pretty standard, I mean, nothing too fancy, right? I mean, I think we've done a tour of this before with the bedrooms and whatnot, but with all the windows in, it really closes the place up, especially with all the roof sheeting and everything. And we just had a pretty good rain, and it's dry. I'll vouch that it's dried in, all right? So again, a game room. And then lastly, into the rest of the attic space, unfinished attic. Mechanicals will go over there, hopefully. But just a very tall ceilings, lots of space to do whatever. I had the framers install whatever subfloor was left, so we got this partially decked. I'll eventually, deck the whole thing, just to have it completely decked, and we'll see how much of this is usable. Once the HVAC is in, that'll really tell you what we've got to work with. And then I guess looking up to the 2.5 story, 3rd story, right? Above there, you can see there's just a lot of space, and I don't know what we'll do yet, but I want to do something. So that is pretty much a framing walkthrough. As far as here's what it looks like at this phase, right? Where the house is completely dried in. Next week, the plumber comes to do the drain, waste, and vent piping. And that's one job I did not want to do myself. I could probably get it done, and I'm sure it'd be fine, but I would be extremely slow with it, trying to make sure I routed everything correctly. So to me, that one's money well spent to have a pro do that one. So I think that's about it. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content here, please like, share, subscribe, all the YouTuber things that people say, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.